is huge. I cannot wait to get into the breakdown for today's video because Marvel Rivals just got another developer update, and good googly moogly, this is going to be a good one. We've got new information about the closed beta. It is coming to a whole bunch of new regions, so if you were one of the people that were unhappy about the fact that the previous one was only North America, hold on tight. There's some really exciting things to break down for today's video. Now, of course, as I always say, don't forget, guys, if you do enjoy today's video, leave a like. That is very much appreciated. Thank you so very much for your continued support here on YouTube. And without further ado, let's dive on in. So today, the folks over at Marvel Rivals dropped a brand new developer talk, volume number 5. And this one talks about the closed beta test that is coming up very, very soon. Now, I think some of the most exciting things that have been confirmed as part of this developer talk is the fact that they are going to be increasing the scale of the amount of players that will be confirmed for this particular test by 5 times, which means that 5 times as many people that want to play the game will be able to get in, which is super duper exciting to hear already. That means that hopefully it means that they will have way more codes to give away to begin with, and that they will be, as a result of that, more aggressive about giving away codes as the closed beta is happening, so that as many people that want to try out the game can try out the game. Now, speaking of trying out the game, the previous test, the alpha test, was actually restricted to North America, or more specifically, I guess, just America, pretty much. And with this one, they're going worldwide. They're going much more global because they actually will be expanding server reach all the way to Europe and Asia. So not only will you now have North American servers, but we will also have European servers and Asian servers, which means that hopefully everybody will have a good latency to play with, because again, in multiplayer games, it's very important how good of a connection you have to the server. And since they're going global for this particular test, they also confirmed that the game will now support new languages as well, which is super duper cool to see. So now the game will be available in 9 total languages: English, German, French, Italian, Spanish, Brazilian, Portuguese, Japanese, Korean, and traditional Chinese. Now, another really exciting thing is that they have officially confirmed that yes, indeed, both Venom and Adam Warlock will be part of the upcoming closed beta test. Of course, some people were still kind of hesitant about whether or not that was just a teaser for the game overall, or if they would both be included as part of the closed beta test. Well, that is now officially confirmed by them themselves. Marvel Rivals has gone ahead and said that both Venom and Warlock will be coming to the game. They also did confirm the actual types of characters that they are. So Venom is going to be a Vanguard character, and Warlock is going to be a strategist character. They also did actually reveal the names of the team-up moves that Venom has with the other Spider personas in the game. So Spider-Man, Venom, and Penny Parker can team up together in order to utilize the symbiote bond move, which is something that we did see in that last trailer for Marvel Rivals. And then we have a name for the team-up move between Adam Warlock, Star-Lord, and Mantis, which is actually called Guardian Revival. Interestingly enough, it looks like Guardian Revival, at least according to this particular developer talk, will be restricted to just those 3. So even though Groot and, of course, Rocket Raccoon are also Guardians, it seems like they will be excluded from this particular Guardian Revival ability. They also have gone ahead and confirmed the fact that the Tokyo 2099 Spider Islands map will be included as part of this closed beta test, and it seems like they've heard the community's outcries about criticizing some of the destructibility of the environment. Now, they refer to this new system as something called the Thematic environmental destruction, and essentially what they are doing is that they've listened to the fact that a lot of people were, deservedly so, complaining about the fact that, hey, oftentimes on the maps, when environments get destroyed, it becomes extremely difficult to get around them, especially if you don't have a character that has some sort of an agility move or something to get quickly around these things. It becomes incredibly annoying to traverse, and it just kind of ruins sometimes the experience of the game. Well, it seems like they've listened, and now essentially what they're going to do is still allow you to have the destructibility of the environment, but they will use things like the web destruction system, which is going to be essentially the spider bots that are still going to be holding up the very top of the building together. That way you still have the option to scale up there and use that as kind of a watch point or an anchor point for one of your abilities, I think that's very smart because you're kind of getting the best of both worlds, where you still have the destructibility of the environment, but then you're still allowing certain characters to take advantage of high ground, which is something that some of them must have in order to be successful. And the cool thing is that they also did confirm that this change of the destructibility of the environment will be implemented to Tokyo 2099 Shin Shibuya map as well. Now, this next section is probably going to be, retroactively speaking, the most controversial one, because they say the following in this paragraph. We've also heard the waves of UI feedback from our players. So in this closed beta test, we've amped up the experience compared to the alpha test. Visual effects, sound effects, HUD, and more have all been enhanced. Our primary focus has been on improving hit and impact feedback, ensuring you always know the direction of danger and enhancing the visibility of defeat notifications. So this all sounds pretty good overall. Obviously, we'll see what the balancing actually will feel like. They do also say that they are prioritizing balance work, and because of that, they've been fine-tuning and balancing characters even more. So again, this could be good or this could be bad. The only way to know would be just to actually play the game during the closed beta test. So unfortunately, there's really no commentary that I could provide there. But interestingly enough, one of the ways that they are going to be looking into this balancing aspect is implementing a cosmic selection, which is their version of a pick/ban system. So the interesting thing about this is that I've seen a lot of people immediately say, oh, they've got pick bans included as part of this release, and it's going to be awesome, and I can't wait for it. But from what I understand, the initial version of this particular pick/ban system is actually going to be something that is much more so, I guess, the way for them to try to make people play certain characters more often, especially if certain characters are underplayed or underutilized. Essentially, what they're going to do is they're going to have Galacta, who's kind of like the main mascot character of the game, will grant certain favors or banish certain characters automatically within the upper tiers of particularly ranked play, and if they host some type of a special event. So for example, if they're doing an event that celebrates the Spider-Verse, maybe Galacta would favor selecting some of the Spider Persona characters. I think that makes sense. I think that could be cool. I'm very curious to hear what the grant favor means, because again, if this is a case of, hey, this character gets like a 10% health boost or something ridiculous like that, that could be game breaking, especially if the way that they're going to do that is to incentivize you to buy these characters. That would certainly not be cool. So again, even though in theory this sounds like a great idea, I really do want to see how they implement it before I can say one way or another. Now, since we're on the topic of the pick ban system, they do also say that they are looking into implementing a more kind of traditional sounding pick ban system, where essentially you would lock in your team and then you can go ahead and strategically ban select certain other characters, which I think is going to be interesting. It is something that is very, very common in multiplayer games like this, particularly in ranked systems. So I think that this is going to be a cool feature as long as it's done fairly and it doesn't feel like it is trying to essentially incentivize you to play a specific pool of characters. Now, this next change is super exciting because they've confirmed that the closed beta test will also include something called the KO cam system, which essentially, I guess, is the kill cam, essentially allowing you to see how you died so that you can kind of learn from what exactly happened. Sometimes Marvel Rival rounds can get incredibly hectic, and it is genuinely sometimes difficult to even tell what exactly killed you or what exactly occurred. So I think that it is really cool to have this feature implemented so soon after the alpha test. And that's still not all, because they have also confirmed that there will indeed be cross-platform play and multi-platform friend functionality, which means that basically if, let's say, you're playing this upcoming closed beta test on Xbox and your friend is playing it on PlayStation and another one of your friends is playing it on PC, fear not, you can all play together. But keep in mind that, of course, there is advantages to PC play over the console play. So because of that, to get around that, they've essentially gone ahead and actually thought of that, which I think is super duper clever that they're already thinking of these things so far in advance. There's a lot of games that will release and only start thinking about these sorts of problems way after. So it's cool that right now in the closed beta, they're already thinking of this, which is awesome. So essentially the way that they're going to get around that is that if you want to just play that way, you can play that way. That's perfectly fine. They're actually going to have 2 different crossplay modes. So you can either have like all out crossplay, meaning that you could just play with whomever you want. Or if you're a console player, you can actually restrict your crossplay specifically to consoles only. So that then you as an Xbox player would only play with Xbox players and PlayStation players. So you don't feel like you're at a great disadvantage against mouse and keyboard players who will probably have better aim and therefore most likely dominate the ranked charts. And since we're on the topic of cross-platform play, they did actually talk, or at least briefly mention, cross progression, which essentially would speak to the idea that, let's say if you're playing on PlayStation, but then you want to switch and you got yourself a nice new computer and now you want to become a PC player. Well, they're looking into the idea of implementing a system where essentially you'd be able to carry over your progress from your PlayStation version of the game over to your PC version or over to your Xbox version, wherever it is that you would like to play. Now, again, they have not said that this is something that is already implemented into the game for the closed beta test, but I am super duper stoked that they are thinking about this, because it means that hopefully by the time that the game fully releases, this will be a standard feature. So there you go, guys, another exciting update for Marvel Rivals. They absolutely knocked it out of the park with this one. I am personally extremely impressed by the fact that they are already thinking of so many cool features and so many little things that a lot of us have been wanting to see after the alpha. It's already being implemented in the beta, and it just has me super duper stoked about the possibilities of what the heck will this game even look like when it is fully released. I mean, it seems like it is going to be a very, very rich with features, and hopefully the balancing issues work themselves out. Hopefully the servers hold up, and hopefully we all enjoy the closed beta test for Marvel Rivals. In the meantime, of course, guys, if you did enjoy today's video, please don't forget to leave a like. Thank you so very much for your support. I also would go on ahead and encourage you to check out this really cool video. I'm super duper proud of how this one turned out. This showcases all the incredible attention to detail and really cool Easter eggs on the Marvel Rivals map of Shin Shibuya. If you want to check it out, please do so. Thank you so very much for your support, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace out. See you later, alligators.